everybody, how you all doing? Another day. I'll tell you something, the sun's out today, it's quite nice out, but my god, it is cold. But the sun's out, isn't it? So it's better than having it raining all the time, isn't it? So, but we have been busy. I've done a few bits off camera. Reason being, I involved a bit of paint and I didn't want paint all over the camera and everything else. And yeah, just stuck the tunes on and I was just chilling, getting a few things buttoned up. So it was more of a chilled day for me, not having to worry about trying to film and everything else. But we are getting close. Got the bottom of the C-pillar, so I can start on that arch. The only problem is I can't afford any welding wire at the minute, so that's on hold. But we have everything to start that now, which is amazing news. I just want to crack on a bit, but there is still other things we can be doing, and that's what we're going to be concentrating on today. And we've done a few things on the front grille. We've painted inside this arch here, and we've painted all underneath the chassis as well. It looks pretty good. So what I'll do, I'll grab the camera and I'll show you what we've done. Okay, right, so in the engine bay, we come down here and we've started redoing the brake lines. So we're getting there now. So I'm going to do one that comes from the side of the master cylinder. It's going to come up along here, and it's going to come up, if I can get in there, basically where that yellow bit is there, that's where it's going to go. So we're going to be doing that today. Get that done. The reason why I want to do that today is because once that's in, the grille and my brand new radiator can go in. So I'm looking forward to that. We did have to buy a new radiator. The old one was, you pick it up and all the pins and that were just falling off. It was disintegrating, so past it. We'll keep it. It's good for refurbishment. It is a standard unit, so it might be handy for someone who wants to go all OEM. But anyway, we'll get onto that later on. So anyway, brake lines are done this side. We're connected up down there, and all here is painted and looking good. And then we've also done, obviously that's the chassis leg repair I done. If I can get a torch, I might need a bit of light under here. But as you can see, all painted. Now this is just black stone chip. I will go over it with something else at a later date. I just need to be able to purchase it. But I'm happy with how it looks. So yeah, can't grumble at that. And then what we need to do, if I can get under here, so bear with me a minute, I'm going to have to rearrange a few things on your camera here. And knock everything over at the same time. So there we go. Right. Okay, so that brake line just there, which goes into the side of that leg, that's the old one. We need to take that off. I have sprayed it up, so hopefully it comes out okay, which I'll soon find out. And then I can then reroute the new one. I will have to get my wife to come and help me feed the new one in, and the old one out. It just comes down there, you can't really see it. And then all of this, let's try and do this so you can see better. All of this lot here is the clutch relay kit. We've got a brand new one to go on, which will be nice. So we may tackle all of that as well. I'm going to move this jack out today as well because that's just in the way, doesn't need to be there now. But yeah, if we can get that clutch relay kit on as well, it's happy days. Yeah, that'll be another thing done. But yeah, doesn't the chassis look better? That's the wiring loom, and I am going to retape it. I'm going to get some new stuff. It's falling apart, but yeah, I'm happy with that. Looks good. Done all in there as well. And I've done part of the back just up to the leaf spring because obviously I've got to redo that. And then also, oh dear, here we go, get up. What I've also done is, if you remember from one of the other videos, if you don't remember the brake cylinder one, if you go back and watch it, and you'll remember that rubber gator there, we had to order a new one. We got some, and that's all on and all connected. So this side is done. All I've got to do is paint the drum and clear coat it. That's it. So it's coming along quite nicely, and I want to get the torsion bar in place today as well, and hopefully get it back down on its wheels. that would be nice. I've also clear coated, so I've given this a bit of a key off with some Scotch pad, and I've just clear coated in there. I want to keep all that patina and all the marks and stuff, so that's been clear coated. I've got to do the other side, but yeah, getting on to clear coat. Keep that in mind, because I've done something very nice with the grill as well. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the camera up. I don't think I'm going to be able to record me undoing that brake line because not a lot of them under there, but I'll come back to you as soon as it's all off. Okay, right, it's in. I'm saying that was a chore, trying to get that lined up. So anyway, we've done that brake line there, which goes up to there, and we've come along here and down there, and then that's going into the master. And all I can say is trying to line it up in the master to get it screwed in was dramas, but we've got it. Sort of bent it so, you know, none of the lines are touching. All I've got now is from the front there, and that's going to go all the way to the back brakes, and then I've just got to put this one here, which is going to go to that front brake, and then that's this brake servo done. One of my previous videos I was saying that the instructions knowing on this brake servo were crap. The bracket was crap, nothing fitted properly, so lots and lots of searching. There's not much on YouTube about it, and this is where, from what I've found, this is how it all works. So like I say, you have the main line coming in from your master, coming into your servo, and then the line out of your servo coming down into the T-piece, front brake to your other T-piece, front brake, and then from the front of this all the way to your rear brakes, and that's everything running from the servo. Some people do put this over there. I just feel like it's a bit cramped down there. I mean, you could move the bottle and so forth, but there is just more room there, so that's where I put it. It does mean that, yeah, you know, you've got more brake lines than anything else, but don't look too bad. Do the brake lines nicely, and it all fits and works as it should. Show you underneath. Bear with me 2 minutes. Oh dear. And yeah, so I've run the brake line along there. That bracket there, which holds the brake lines, is a bit flimsy, so I'm going to cut that off, and I'll get some nice new brackets just to hold that brake line. I might get a double one, so I am going to feed the rear line, same route it. I'm going to route it over here and along, so I button them up together, and then you've got the new one in there. And I've just stuck, you can probably just see that rubber on the top just to stop it rubbing, and I think you can just about see that on the other side as well. And that is that bit done. So that's that bit. I was going to say, that was bend that down a bit, I think, just to, there you go. So yeah, I'll just bend that down a little bit so it's not, you know, resting on the floor there. But anyway, right, so that's that bit. Right, let's get back out again. Okay, God, that's not easy. Right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to fit this brake line in place. There is a grommet, I can't see, there is a grommet down there, so I'm going to reuse that. I won't be connecting it to the caliper that side yet. There's a few more bits I've got to do. I might have to take that wing back off, but if I can get this in, and that means the radiator, everything else can go on, and that will be this front end all buttoned up and looking lovely. I'm excited to get this on because it's just a milestone, which would be great knowing that we are getting there. And then yeah, I can just concentrate on this rear corner. Like I say, I just need welding wire to be able to start that. So we're going to ignore that for the minute and just get this done. But boy, are we getting there. It's nice to see some progress of everything going back together at long last. Right, I'm going to get this brake line I've made up. To be fair, what I should say, the brake line kit I'm using, it's just this sort of kit. I've got the cutter there, and I've got a bend up there. It's just a cheap set of eBay. It's okay, it does the job. It's a bit fiddly. Ideally, you'd want a vice or a table or something that you could sort of clamp that into while you're doing it and make life a lot easier. I don't, so I'm having to use what I've got. But yeah, it does the job. It's cheap, and like I say, brake line's cheap. So any project like this, have a go, make it your own. It is easy to a point. It's just trying to get things lined up and getting them bolted in. But yeah, right, I'm going to get that side done. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, right, the grill is almost on. If you look down now, all the brake lines are in. All the inside's been painted, so the grill's on, but there's these little rubbers that sort of sit in this corner. Where's the old one? I'll show you. These, and I will need to get one more at some point, because that, well, that's at it. So we'll just chuck that down there. Obviously that would go right down there in that gap. But what do you think of this grill? I've keyed it all off, and I clear coated the whole thing all over the rust, obviously, to keep the patina all under there. And then the grill, this is the bit I'm not happy with. I rubbed it down, went to spray it in like a gloss white. The paint I had, it was like water. It was absolutely crap, even after like 10 minutes of shaking the thing. And unfortunately it hasn't gone on well at all. Like there's bits there and imperfections. But I stuck a bit of clear coat over it as well. And now I feel like it's going to be okay. I think it's going to add that sort of aged look to it. That's the sort of thing I'm hoping, and if we can get that, then that'll be great. But I mean, it looks a lot better than what it was. That grill was just rust. I will insert a picture. So at the moment I've got these new hardware. They're just 10mm bolts. Yes, I know I'm not using the correct ones, but I had a box and I'm using them up with a nylon lock nut on the back, and we're just doing under here at the minute. These ones are a bit tricky because you don't have a lot of room between the frame and the grill. So anyway, we're just doing that. I'll stick you here. Can you see anything? I'm very much down to it. Yeah, that'll do. But yeah, it's just little things like this that take the time, and it's, you know, painting it, getting it right. And for me, it's stick a bit of music on and just sort of crack on and just enjoy the process of doing it. Obviously I enjoy doing videos and stuff, don't get me wrong, but sometimes, yeah, it was a nice day, the sun was out, so yeah, I thought, well, perfect time just to have a bit of chilled time, you know. Got a few things going around in my head stressing me out, so yeah, just take a step back every now and then, a bit of music, and just have a day to yourself. It always helps. It helps me, I know that much. But yeah, anyway, we're getting there. Obviously I've got to trim that bolt there for the bumper at some point, find out where it sits, and then I'll have to trim it. And then that's got to sit in there, so I might have to loosen it all off again to get those in. Unfortunately, that side's going to go in by the looks of it. It's just level, so maybe that is just about right. So okay, that's the job. Later on, the bumper's not going on just yet. What do I do with those? Oh, it's the front bumper on this. I do need to change it. Well, it is past it. One side's completely corner of it's rotten. It's taken the chrome lip with it as well. So yeah, got to change that. But it can go on the car. It's not going to affect it, and it can be dealt with at a later date. Main thing, get it running, get everything sorted out, and then the finishing little touches. Don't matter when you do them; they can be done whenever. As long as she's running tip top, that's all I'm worried about. Which I'm sure she will do with the way she looks. What's that saying? Runs as well as she looks. I don't know, something like that. Put it down in the comments below. I've probably got it wrong. Obviously I went with the black bolts as well. They don't stand out, you know, sort of hidden, sort of blends in. So yeah, quite happy with that, to be honest. There we go. Right, that's all the grill on. Bolts up there. Like I say, only black. They're not the correct ones or the period sizing for the car, but am I bothered? No, it's my car. I know it's been put together properly. It's on. Like I say, it's all going to have to come off again at some point to fit those new rubbers. But it is what it is at the moment. I can't do a lot. You can't really see down there really, but yeah, I can't do a lot about it. But it's on. Let's say I'm going to have to take this wing off, and I do need a new, I think they call it the hockey stick chrome to go around there. I think I do have this side, so I can reuse that. What I am going to do, obviously this is all in stone chip, I'm probably going to clear coat down to about here. Clear coat just adds that bit of protection, helps it, because you have got metal bolting up against metal. It just gives it that extra protection. Obviously stop rust spreading everything else. I mean, I've rubbed this back with a wire brush and everything anyway. It's still pitted, but everything's been treated there. So but yeah, I'm going to do that in a minute, clear coat that, and then technically speaking that ring can go on later. But yeah, we'll see what we go. Right, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to have a cuppa, and I'll see you all in a bit. Okay, there we go. The nice new shiny Radiator. Again, I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I know everyone prefers the original. I've gone for this for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to bring the engine bay up. This is a perfect way of doing it. Plus, it was a little bit cheaper than the original. Also, it has this outlet, which is here. I'm just about to put some Loctite on it for the heater return. Now, the reason why I went for that, a nice chap on one of the forums actually told me about it, is because, so this is obviously the extended hose, and it is slightly thicker, obviously runs down to the rad, but originally it would have come from here and to that black metal pipe work and into the top of the hose. So obviously using this new setup, it gets rid of all of that, tidies that up, but then also gives me the opportunity to use that outlet for the electric fan, because I will be getting rid of this mechanical. So if you are stuck in traffic or anything, like I say, I want to be using this daily, the electric fan setup's going to work, but that outlet on that hose is a perfect place to put the switch, basically the sensor inside that. It just about fits. So that's the whole plan behind it. Just tidies it up quite nicely, and then I need to get some grommets that fit in there for these, and then eventually I can then run this hose down properly and to where it needs to go down there. So that's the whole reason behind it. So yeah, we just got to Loctite this. If I can set this up, okay, I hope you're filming. If I can, he says. There you go. So this obviously does have a rubber O-ring, but I'm going to Loctite it anyway, just to be on the safe side. So let's see if we can get it out. There we go. Okay, probably a bit too much Loctite, but we don't want it coming out now, do we? So. Obviously don't want to go mad doing this up, obviously it is hollow, so just nip it up to where you're comfortable. And that's probably about as far as I'm going to put it. I'm only using the short adjustable. You can get longer ones, but obviously you are going to get more leverage, so just be careful. Like I say, shorter ones you can only go so much with it. I'm happy with that. That's good. Right, I did also buy, again, this sort of stuff's pennies, but some new bolts for the rad. Again, they're so cheap, so it's a no-brainer. You might as well do that. I think I also have, just double check these will fit. That's good. And then I do have, yeah, I should have some washers. That'd be perfect for these. So yeah, just put a washer on them as well. So get 4 of those out. Okay, right. Can I put you in a position where you can see? Probably not. I'll get this fitted and I should be back. There we go. What do we think? She's all buttoned up. Nice new shiny radiator. Hose is on. Blanks that bit of the hose off because, like I say, that's where I'm going to put my sensor. Hopefully it fits. And that's all buttoned up down there. So this is why I wanted the grill off, because like I say, trying to do all these brake lines and everything with it on, it's doable, don't get me wrong, but it's tight. Obviously I can get to that one for down there. I've put that brake line in for the front, it's in down there. I've just got to connect it behind the wheel, but she's good. All I've got to do now, put the grommets on, where are we, up there, and then I can flush out the heater matrix, get all these connected. This hose goes obviously down there, so obviously I've got to button that up and obviously find a nice route for it, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it, because like I say, the only thing stopping me really is the grommets up there. But yeah, really happy with how that's looking. Obviously there's always going to be finishing touches and stuff I've got to do, like clean and paint the wiper motor there. I've got to put a new grommet for the wiper motor down there. Little bits and pieces that will need to be addressed, but like I say, when it's on the road we can, you know, we can tinker, we can do those little odds and sods. But generally speaking, I can't wait to hear this thing run. We're nearly there. I say once we do that rear arch, then once that's all buttoned up, we could start her up. See what it sounds like. Because like I say, I don't know about that distributor cap, distributor itself, if it works or not. If it doesn't, then I'm going to stick the original points one back on for now until I get a new electronic ignition, because I know that the old one works. Right, I'm going to leave it here. There's a few things I've just got to button up, and then we are going to start on that torsion bar. Great fun, eh? Okay, so on this clip I will apologise. When I was fitting the torsion bar, unfortunately it hit the camera and the camera fell over. I didn't realise, so you were just looking at the jack. So yeah, that was all on. I think I went 1 notch down on the rear of the torsion bar, and I think I went about 2 notches up on the front of the torsion bar. It is a bit low, so I am going to have to readjust the front. But yeah, you'll sort of see in the video to how it sits. And obviously the bracket with the holes in, I've gone on the second hole down, which I think's about right. Well, that's where it was originally sitting. The other side is sitting in the top hole, so I do need to adjust the driver's side. But yes, I do apologise about that. Unfortunately, I didn't notice camera on the floor, so you won't get to see the install. So apologies on my part. Okay, the front is on its wheels. Unfortunately, it is a bit too low on this side, as you can see, between that and the bump stop. So tomorrow I'll jack it back up and I'll remark the torsion, because at the moment I've just painted it all, obviously, so it's all nice. So the torsion down there, I'll remark it, and I will drop that on down probably 2 notches. And that should see us quite nicely. I've gone down a notch on the back, and I don't know if I'll be able to show you if I can get under there. It's going to be tricky, innit? Hold on. There we go. So yeah, I'm on the sort of the second hole down on that over there, and I do need to get a C washer for the torsion bar, because it is actually missing it on this. So I do need to address that. So all this will have to come off again, but it's not the end of the world. So it's hard to see who he is, but yeah, so I have to get a C-bolt for that over there, so it all fits properly to as it should. Reason being, if I go on the other side, yeah, so that bolt, again, it's hard to get you under it. So that bolt there, the actual washer is meant to sit in a hole nicely, but it's actually not sitting in because the torsion bar is too far over this side, so that C washer will pull it back. So it's not the end of the world, but it will need a new one. So, right, if I get back out, oh dear, but we are making some really good progress now. The front is all buttoned up, radiator's all in. Yeah, happy, very happy indeed. So I'll just adjust that tomorrow just to get a slightly better ride height, because like I say, that's too low, and if I do push on it, hard to see, but obviously when you've got a few people in the car, that's going to get lower. So yeah, 2 notches down on that arm, and we should, if I turn the torch off, yeah, that should be about right. So all I've got to do is put the ring on, but I might do that tomorrow as well. But for now, I am going to leave it there. I've got to tidy all my crap up, but very happy with how it's beginning to look. I am over the moon, especially under there. That is all looking hunky-dory. Yeah, hopefully this week I might even make a start on that C-pillar, the bottom of the C-pillar at least, get the old one cut out, get the new one in, and I might just put a couple of tacks on it. I've got a little bit of welding wire, but not enough to do a whole lot, but yeah, I can at least tack it into place and hopefully start working my way round to what needs to be done. I know I am going to have to do some of this metal work here, but I have got an old ring which has got that natural curve, so I am going to use that where I'm going to need it. But all in all, it's all done. I'll leave it there, and yeah, I will catch up with you soon. Take it easy.